Encanto is the new Disney movie with music done by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who also did the music for Hamilton and Moana, if you've never heard of him for some reason. It's about a young girl who's in the middle of a family, and they all get a special gift when they come of age, when they're like 10 or so. Or maybe it's younger than that. Because the kid who gets it, like, he's pretty young. He's maybe like 6. Okay, like 6. But she never got a gift, but she has a really large family and they all have gifts. And at the center of the story is like a very domineering grandma who kind of shuns the main character because she never got a gift. And she's definitely the scapegoat of the family, and it kind of covers every family member as a different form of abuse. Like, they even call someone the golden child at one point, and she totally is. Except perhaps for Bruno, who was scapegoated so hard he basically kicked himself out of the family. But she sees a vision of the house like they live in, because that's part of the magic or something, and like she sees a vision of it collapsing, of like it cracking in half and collapsing, and she thinks it's real, and she runs to get her grandma, but when they come back, nothing's wrong, and she's just like, you're just crazy, because she's just scapegoating her. Like, you're the problem with this family. It's all you. She literally says that to her at one point. She ends up going to very great lengths to like try to stop this from happening, and she discovers that Bruno's still living in the house and he's gone maybe a little stir crazy. But in the end, she figures out that it's really the grandma who's like being really extra domineering and selfish and cares more about how the family looks to the outside world than she actually cares about any member of the family. And in confronting her grandma with this, like, that's what causes the house to collapse in the end. But just like in Coda, the grandma then magically learns the error of her ways, and that she changes to a good person after that. But I mean, this is a Disney movie. Them covering something as complex as psychological familial abuse, or psychological abuse from your family, I should say, is like more than I ever expected. Again, they can't provide like real solutions. It's just like, and then magically everything's better. Just like in Coda, it's the same thing. Like, she confronts the abuser finally for being abusive, and they magically change. And I do appreciate that they're picking these more complex subjects that seem to be the theme of these Oscars. Like, toxic relationships is very commonplace in today's society, unfortunately. The fact that the solution seems to be let them figure it out and magically change on their own. Like, it doesn't, I don't know, things don't work like that. But I'm at least glad that's not what every movie is doing. Essentially, Power of the Dog showed things more as they really are in situations like that than this movie did. Well, this movie does until the very end when things magically change. Okay, well, I mean, outside of my annoyance at the ending and like 2 movies in a row doing the exact same thing with that, which aren't either movie's fault, really. This was good. I was very entertained throughout the whole thing. The music was good. The animation was amazing. Classic Disney animation. I really liked the story overall, even though it was like both very simple and it just stayed within this family and everything, but also very like wide arching that like involved this whole town and like how this one family like affected the society around them and everything. I do appreciate a more simple story, and Hollywood movies, like not everything has to be about saving the world or whatever. I thought they did a good job of balancing like so many characters. I mean, they kept it all on the main character. I can't remember her name, but they kept the focus on her, and I think that helped a lot. And because she didn't have a gift, it kind of let us see everyone else's gift vicariously through her. I also really like the character of Bruno. I felt he like really brightened up the movie, even though he's kind of a dark and brooding character. But like that was part of the comedy in a way, and like, but because he was then like kind of lighthearted at the same time, it just it gave him an interesting dynamic you don't normally see in a Disney film. Also, the song about him is probably the catchiest, which helped too, I think. And the animation in this is pretty top notch. I already mentioned that, but I think just combining this like more, this like cartoony style with the magical elements like really worked and helped. Kind of reminded me of Ratatouille, the animation, actually. I don't know in what way. I mean, that also had like a magical feel to it, even though it wasn't quite magic. But the animation like helped that style, and I think you can kind of see the influences here maybe from that movie. Maybe not. I don't know. Never mind. I really like the Latin American influences as well, especially in the music. I mean, that's where it most came out. I mean, it all takes place, I think, in Colombia or a South American country. I think. I think it's Colombia. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think all the style and everything else about it like really helped match this Latin American feel of the whole film. I'll just give it a rating because I don't know what else to say right now. It's a good movie. I would recommend it, even if I don't like the message it leaves at the end. I mean, I do like the message of confronting your parents, maybe, if you think that'll help. But like for the most part, toxic people, you just gotta get away from them. But I guess that doesn't make for the best ending of a Disney movie. I'm still gonna detract a point from it. It would have gotten a 10 out of 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 for having a lame ending and just perpetuating the lie that Hollywood seems to be forcing on us, that you can get people like this to change. Well, I'm sure everyone's mad at me now for even taking 1 point off everyone's favorite movie right now, but please like and subscribe anyway. And I try to put a video out every day, so look forward to that.